Hello guys and welcome to another Sims 4 room build. Today we're doing sort of a teenager's bedroom, I think. I say I think because I didn't really super have a sim in mind. I more had like a vibe in mind, and I was thinking like middle child, like junior in high school maybe, that kind of thing. Like this is her space. This is where her friends come hang out, stuff like that. She's maybe got like an older brother and a younger sister or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how it would go. But that was kind of the idea. And so there's a lot of different things happening here. Lots of blues, a little bit of yellow. The idea had initially been pop of yellow. That was the goal. But there's not a lot of great yellow swatches in the game that aren't like super overpowering. So I ended up going with blue. Every time I go with blue, I hear little Simsy in my head. For those of you who don't know, she's like this incredibly talented, famous Sims YouTuber. And she always picks blue swatches because the blue swatches in the game are just good. They just usually are good. Like sometimes there's really aggressively bad green or purple swatches, but like the blue is usually standardly pretty good. So she does a lot of like blue Suburbans and stuff. So every time I use blue, I'm like, but the blue swatches in the game are so good. And they are. But the idea was like I wanted a small little space that felt very like homey, not necessarily warm and cozy, but like when you walked in, you could tell this was somebody's space. Like for example, I've had people walk in my room and they're like, wow, the clutter. But when you walk into the space, it is 110% me. It doesn't necessarily have an aesthetic or like a consistent vibe, but you walk into the space and you're like, this is Amanda's space. And I kind of wanted that vibe. Like it doesn't really have like a consistent theme or goal other than there's a lot of blue and yellow, but there is like you walk in and you're like, this is somebody's room, this has personality. And I thought it would be really fun to have kind of like a weird shaped bedroom where the bed was kind of like stuck into the room, and I wanted to use some of the different windows and stuff. Throughout this video you might see something interesting. I don't know if I've seen it happen yet. I've been more or less watching the mic things like peak and worrying about the audio, but you might see this started with this build, and I've had it happen in a couple other builds. It's really annoying. For some reason the Sims will start just ignoring parts of my keyboard, and this is not happening anywhere else. This is strictly a Sims problem. This is not happening anywhere else on my PC. But so like I'll hit Alt, it doesn't matter. I'll hit like Control 9, doesn't matter. And it's getting like progressively worse, which is really annoying because this build, it was mostly Alt and Control that stopped working, and Shift stopped working, which is really annoying. On a build that I don't think I even have all of the audio or all of the video finished for it, the entire keyboard stopped working. So I couldn't move the camera, I couldn't like hit escape, I couldn't use C to capture images or anything, and the only thing I have found that fixes it is restarting the game, and sometimes not even that. But like I said, nowhere else does this happen, because the first couple of times it happened I was like, is my keyboard dying? Because it's a plug-in charge one, it's wireless, the one I'm using right now. So like I popped it apart and was like looking at the charge, and I was like, it still has half charge because it's supposed to last for like 3 months, and it does. And so but I popped a wired keyboard in, a very clacky one, which is not great for recording, but it's super great for like clacky. And my friend sent it to me, and it's lovely. And so I plugged that in, same problem. And I was like, I know this keyboard works because my friend is like one of those keyboard people, and like she every time she comes over, she like fixes it and makes sure it's all good and yells at me because there's crumbs in it, which is accurate, So I was like, I know this one works. So it's got to be the game. And like I said, it doesn't happen anywhere else. So if you see me struggling throughout the next few builds, just know that I don't know. I got nothing. This game is buggy as heck for being as old as it is, but that's okay. In general, it ended up going a little bit more blue than I wanted. The only thing that I really have beef in this room about, I like the way the walls look, in that I liked that warm kind of tiley color that you'll see. I don't remember how many iterations I go through before we end up settling on it. But I imagined it being like peel and stick wallpaper. But I wanted to match it with a blue so that the room didn't feel so like orangey. Problem is I don't love the blue wallpaper. The blues in this game are very cool toned, which means they go together very nicely. And again, talking about, little Simsy and her blue swatches. The problem is, like, if you know me, I tend to like warm undertones for my colors, warm toned colors. And so I wish it was a warm tone color. I keep saying that I should just like make all the wallpapers that I want and then just release them. I should at some point, because then I could use them in my game. And honestly, that's 90% of my struggling with building, is like, I'll find something cute and then I'm like, God, I have to put stuff on the walls. and I don't want to put stuff on the walls. It's a lot of work to put stuff on the walls. But anyways, I had just talked to you for like 20 minutes at another speed build, and this one I can hear my voice starting to go, and I have about 20 minutes before I have to leave and go buy hay. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're feeling loved. If you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you and I'm glad you exist. If you are feeling loved, please know that I love you and I'm glad you exist too. Like, they're not mutually exclusive things, but I just want you to know you're feeling loved, or that I love you. I want you to feel loved. Look, that's the whole thing. I'm gonna go now because my brain has stopped working. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.